Hello guys, happy Friday. Hope you guys are having a great day. We are going over review lesson 5. So buckle up, get ready, and let's hit the ground running. Question 1. Jacksonian Democrats favored all of the following except A. Rotation in office, B. Universal suffrage for white males, C. The caucus system for nominating candidates, D. Rewarding political supporters with government jobs, or E. Presidential electors being chosen by popular vote. So what strategy did the Jacksonian Democrats did not agree with? Number C, the caucus system for nominating candidates. Number 2, after the election of 1824, the president's choice of Henry Clay as Secretary of State resulted in A. The end of political bitterness between the major parties. B. The revival of the Federalist Party. C. Widespread criticism of the spoils system. D. Charges of a corrupt bank bargain with John Q. Adams. Or E. A political alliance between Clay and Andrew Jackson. Number D, charges of a corrupt bargain with John Q. Adams. Remember the corrupt bargain number 1. Number 3, an important effect of the Tariff of Abominations of 1828 was A. Increased prices for cotton overseas. B. South Carolina's adoption of the theory of nullification. C. The election of a Democratic president, Andrew Jackson. D. An alliance of Northeastern workers and Western farmers. Or E. The growth of manufacturing in the South. The correct answer is B. South Carolina's adoption of the theory of nullification. Nullification means they could refuse this tariff. Number 4. The Revolution of 1828 revealed that political power was A. Shifting to the western states, B. Shifting to the southern states, C. Entrenched on the eastern seaboard, D. Gravitating towards conservative elements, or E. Evenly divided between Whigs and Democrats. The correct answer was shifting to the western states. Political power was shifting to the western states. Number 5. Which of the following documents would be most useful in evaluating President Jackson's commitment to democratic values? So notice they said this is a question again which all of these can be useful, but which is the most useful in this term? A. The Specie Circular. B. Veto message on the rechartering of the Second Bank of the United States. C. Congressional hearings on the corrupt bargain. D. Supreme Court cases on the Indian removal issue. Or E. Calhoun's writings on nullification. So which is the most useful document in this evaluation? B. Veto message on the rechartering of the Second Bank of the United States. Number 6, in the 1830s, the factor that most directly promoted the development of a two-party system was A, the growth of the immigrant population, B, increased interest in foreign affairs, C, changes in methods of nominating and electing the president, D, increasingly sectional conflicts between northern and southern states over the tariff issue, or E, the dropping of constitutional limitations on the party system. So which factor promoted this development? The answer is C, changes in methods of nominating and electing the president. Question 7. The duties of all public officers are, or at least admit of being made, so plain and simple that more is lost by the long continuance of men in office than is generally to be gained by their experience. This statement best reflects the views of A. John C. Calhoun, B. Daniel Webster, C. John Q. Adams, D. Andrew Jackson, or E. Henry Clay. So which of these people would support this statement? The answer is D. Andrew Jackson. Number 8, the main issue in the presidential campaign of 1832 was A, the recharter of the Bank of the United States, B, the removal of Native Americans from eastern states, C, the use of federal funds for internal improvements, D, the cost of western lands sold by the government, or E, the nullification of the tariffs of abomination. So answering this question, you have to tell yourself what was happening in the country during this presidential campaign that would be a main issue for the candidates. And the answer is the rechartering of the Bank of the United States. There was so much conflict in terms of this recharter from different political groups and political candidates. Number 9, President Jackson's response to the Supreme Court decisions on the treaty rights of Native Americans resulted in which of the following? A, Jackson's loss of popularity among working class voters. B, Indian uprising in the eastern states. C, the division of tribal lands into family units. D, impeachment of the president for not enforcing the law. Or E, the forced removal of Cherokees from their lands in Georgia. So President Jackson is connected with the Indian Removal Act. So let's focus on that while answering this question. So what is President Jackson's response to these Supreme Court decisions? E, the Indian Removal Act, or the forced removal of Cherokees from their lands in Georgia. Number 10, supporters of the Whig Party included all of the following groups except A, supporters of Clay's American system, B. New immigrants such as the Germans and the Irish. C. Westerns who wanted federal funds for internal improvements. D. Reformers concerned about immorality and vice. Or E. Advocates of a national bank. So, which group would not support the Whig Party? The answer is B. New immigrants such as the Germans and the Irish, because the Whig Party was notoriously anti-immigration. Number 11. Which of the following best reflected the idea of manifest destiny? A. The signing of the Webster-Ashburton Treaty. B. Henry Clay's position on Texas in the election of 1844. C. The establishment of Texas as an independent republic. D. The campaign platform of James Polk in 1844. Or E. Northern Whigs during the Mexican War. So which best reflected this idea? The answer is D. The campaign platform of James Polk in 1844. This idea, America should expand from the East Coast to the West Coast. Number 12. All of the following contributed to the conflict between Mexico's government and settlers in Texas in the early 1830s, except what did not contribute to this conflict? A. The collection of import duties. B. The support of annexation by John Taylor and James Polk. C. Mexico's decision to abolish slavery in its territory. D. Mexico's law requiring acceptance of the Catholic faith. Or E. The coming of power of General Santa Anna. So, the support for annexation by John Taylor and James Polk did not contribute to this conflict in the early 1830s. You have to pay attention in these questions to the time period, right? Because this would really add to this conflict when Texas was being accepted into the United States. But that was not the issue in the early 1830s. So pay attention to the date. The main reason for the U.S. delay in annexing Texas was A. Controversy over the boundary of Texas and Mexico. B. Opposition of Great Britain and France. C. Independent spirit of the settlers in Texas. D. Opposition in Congress to adding slave states. Or E. Opposition of the Mexican government. The correct answer is E. Opposition in Congress to adding slave states. So this was a big deal, slave versus free states in that period. Number 14. Which of the following was the least... Okay, my dogs were yip-yapping. Number 14. Which of the following was the least important issue in the election of 1844? So all of these were important issues in that election, but which was the least important? A. Settlement of the Oregon border. B. Acquisition of California. C. Rechartering the Bank of the United States. D. Reduction of the tariff. Or E. Annexation of Texas. The correct answer is rechartering the Bank of the United States. This was sort of like a non-issue because we spent so much time earlier debating this when it came to the election of 1844. There was more important issues on the table. Number 15. Which of the following was not a major consequence of the U.S. war with Mexico? A. U.S. annexation of Texas. B. Long-term Mexican resentment against the United States. C. Securing Texas's southern border on the Rio Grande. D. Increased sectional tensions over slavery. Or E. Cession of California and New Mexico to the United States. The answer is A. U.S. annexation of Texas. Number 16. Which of the following is a correct statement about the Wilmot Proviso? A. It forbade the introduction of slavery into territory acquired from Mexico. B. It denied President Polk additional funds to conduct a war with Mexico. C. It compromised differences between the North and the South. D. It passed both houses of Congress but was vetoed by the President. Or E. It was proposed by the Whigs to embarrass the Democrats. The answer is A. It forbade the introduction of slavery into territory acquired from Mexico because that was such a hot debate during this time period. Number 17. Which of the following is least useful in arguing that territorial expansion was motivated by a desire to spread slavery? A. William Walker's campaign in Nigeria. B. The Audston Manifesto. C. The slogan 54-40 or fight. D. The annexation of Texas. Or E. Opposition to the Wilmot Proviso. The answer is the slogan 54-40 or fight. That was a slogan for territorial expansion, but it was not motivated by a desire to spread slavery. Number 18. During the settlement of the West, all of the following were true except A. The overland trails were used primarily by the very poor. B. A large percentage of the Western miners were foreign-born. C. The mountain men provided much of the early information about the West. D. In the 1830s and 1840s, the U.S. government gave squatters the right to buy federal lands. Or E. The chief interest of most pioneering families who moved west was to engage in agriculture. The answer is A. The overland trails were used primarily by the very poor. Hold on. Okay, number 19. Which of the following had the greatest impact on transportation in the 1850s? A. Canal building. B. Improvements in the steamboat. C. The expansion of railroads. D. The development of clipper ships. Or E. Changes in design in the overland wagon. Seed of expansion of railroads. Railroads allowed for goods to be transported across the country. Number 20. In what way did the Panic of 1857 have an effect on sectional conflict? A. Unemployment increased in the eastern manufacturing centers. B. Prices for farm products fell, especially in Midwestern states. C. The South blamed the North for falling cotton prices. The Southerners concluded that their economic system was superior to the North's. Or E. The North gained the necessary economic advantages to defeat the South when Civil War broke out. The answer is D. Southerners concluded that their economic system was superior to the North. Alrighty, that is a wrap for today's review lesson. I hope you guys learned a lot and reviewed a lot. See you guys tomorrow.